Yo everybody, what's going on? This is Keegan from Kman Reviews. If you enjoyed this review, make sure you hit that like and the subscribe button, and if you have any opinions at all that you would like to share, make sure to leave them down in the comment section. Foo Fighters, Medicine at Midnight. The Foo Fighters are an American rock band founded and fronted by Nirvana drummer Dave Grohl. It's been a while since we last heard from the Foo. Their last studio album was 4 years ago with the expansive yet mostly one-note Concrete and Gold, which I do have a review on this channel, but I do plan to redux it eventually, so I'm not even going to link it. However, this new album here, the band's 10th, Medicine at Midnight, saw delays, and being categorized as a dance rock record, being compared to David Bowie's Let's Dance. No doubt there was a lot of skepticism going into this one, so how is Medicine at Midnight? Let's find out as I review the album track by track. We will start with the singles, with there being 3 of them. The first being Shame Shame, which is certainly a bizarre choice of a lead-off single, and certainly doesn't live up to the expectations promised by the band. It's pretty minimal, mid-tempo, almost a slow burn with the deep bass work and nice slap of the drums. Dave's voice is extremely tame throughout the track. It's almost sleep-inducing, but one thing's for sure, it's extremely different than anything the band has done before. Personally, I quite enjoy the tune. It's grown on me with each listen, definitely has some poppier qualities to it, like its repetitiveness, but nothing truly danceable in my opinion. It feels darker, eerier, and I just get swept up in this abyssal tune. Good song. The second single, No Son of Mine, definitely amps things up a good couple of notches. Very rock-focused with the angry guitar cries, loud drums, and Dave coming back to his growl. It's got this garage band style, but it's also extremely anthemic, and I can really see this becoming a big hit during stadium shows. This one does have one flaw which is shared with Shame Shame, and that's the fact that this is a little bit repetitive as well, mainly during the choruses, but with these lyrics about pointing out hypocritical leaders and the crimes they've committed, this is a great track. I really like it. And the third and final single, Waiting on a War, really cements the diversity of this album, mostly just an acoustic cut, moving at a pretty stagnant, slow pace, doesn't really leave a lasting impression at the start, with Dave Grohl sounding strangely similar to Dan Reynolds from Imagine Dragons. Then the percussion starts to come in around halfway, building up very slowly, but then the track erupts around the final minute with these loud, soaring guitars and an extreme increase in tempo, giving the track a proper send-off. Lyrically, it harkens back to Dave's youth and the frightening political stances during that time. Pretty good track. I like it. Now for the rest of the tracks. Opener, Making a Fire, really kicks this album off in appropriate fashion with these invigorating drums, plus the guitar work is pretty enjoyable as well. I will admit the female Na 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 group singers and hand claps feel quite a bit out of place on the intro and post-choruses, not to mention Dave's vocals on the chorus feeling pretty poppy in direct contrast to the rougher timbre he performs on the verses. I think this one will probably need the most amount of time for me to warm up to. I'm almost certain it will happen, but for right now, it's pretty good, but it does feel a little bit clunky, awkward, and almost confusing in its mix. Cloudspotter is probably my favorite track on this record. This is just such a bop. The shrieking guitar and the bass has a Marilyn Manson-esque grit and toughness. The pre-chorus and chorus amp things up to the next level, cutting out most of the funk and just resorting to a rock groove, which is a very satisfying transition. Dave's vocals go all over the place, but in all sections he sounds really good. The verses he's a little bit deeper and accented by an unlisted female vocalist, then gains that signature growl of his, one he really lets loose with near the final moments of the track. So much to enjoy here, give this cut a listen. The title track, Medicine at Midnight, catches me completely off guard immediately with its clap beat and perky melody that almost made me wonder if they're just going all in on the pop dance formula. Thankfully though, the track kicks into gear with the drums and that very welcome bass line, morphing the song into a fantastic effort at pop rock. Dave's voice is also a bit more polished here, no raspy growl, and it shows how well he can adapt to more radio-friendly production. The chorus is extremely infectious, the verses have a zesty funk to them, and lyrically, I'm a little bit unsure, but I do get a vague idea about some relationship and how nothing seems to be working, resorting to this medication to cope. I love this track, an album highlight no doubt. Holding Poison is just a ripper of a track, and it all starts with that beautiful guitar work, whether it be the rough, grainy grit or the shrieking howl. It all just kills alongside this driving percussion that just packs so much weight with each pound. Yet despite all those harder elements I just listed, the song still has a very distinct and refined pop flavoring. There's a nice melody and everything congeals into this danceable rhythm, plus hearing Dave sing melodically in his growl is a treat I never knew I needed. Lyrically, I can make out this negative state of mind that he's in, enacting thoughts and feelings towards other people, but then something snaps and he just learns to keep it all in, or as he calls it, holding the poison down. Another fantastic song. Chasing Birds is the slower, emotional, ballad-esque cut here, and this one is downright gorgeous. The very somber, melancholic instrumental gives a warm, pillowy feeling with the ambient guitar and slow, easygoing percussion. Dave's vocals here are pretty fantastic as well. He has a slight echoey reverb effect to his voice, which only makes the track feel more ethereal than it already does. Lyrically, it's actually pretty dark, seeking this solace in life, knowing the path you're bound to take, following this coping mechanism to the ends of the earth. This is a beautifully haunting song. Give it a listen. And finally, the closer, Love Dies Young, opens up with this chugging guitar riff. Really reminds me of something I would find in a car commercial. In fact, the whole song kinda gives me that vibe, and as a result, it's probably the most lackluster cut here. It's not a bad track at all. I love the energy the track has. It knows where it's going and it doesn't let up. But Dave's vocals are probably the part that don't catch me as incredible. They just sort of fall back for this instrumental to take center stage, and with the whole car commercial aesthetic, the instrumental starts to get a little bit tired by itself. If Dave could have been a little bit more of a presence here, this would have been great, but for what it is, it's kind of just average. Overall, this album got so close to a perfect run, and it's such a miraculous surprise. I last covered The Foo in 2017, and that album, Concrete and Gold, didn't feel like anything special to me, so I didn't know what to expect. But I'm so thankful this exists to show the capability and versatility the band can pull off and execute very well. Tight grooves, effective vocals, hooky melodies, and certainly a danceable record just like the band wanted. I'm feeling a pretty good 8.5 out of 10 on this album. Hell yes! Well guys, hope you enjoyed that review. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Peace.